All right, good afternoon. My name is Jerry Bauzon. That's Jerrybauzon. I'm one of the sergeants with the Austin Police Department Homicide Unit. This afternoon I will be updating you all on the 3 murders we've had since Saturday morning. Murders 15, 16, and 17. Let me go ahead and start off with murder number 15. Saturday morning, July 16th, at approximately 1:14 a.m., Austin police officers responded to a stabbing call in the 7400 block of Johnny Morris Road. Upon arrival, witnesses directed officers to a male lying on the pavement with obvious trauma. At this time, we are not disclosing the specific injuries for investigative purposes. Austin Travis County EMS personnel arrived. They attempted life-saving procedures, but to no avail. The victim was pronounced deceased at approximately 1:36 in the morning. The victim has been identified as Brandon D. Grant. An autopsy was performed by the Austin Travis County Medical Examiner's Office, and the manner of death was ruled homicide. In this case, the suspect has not yet been identified, and detectives are asking anyone with any information regarding this incident or his whereabouts to call the homicide tip line at 512-477-3588 or Crime Stoppers at 512-472-TIPS, or text TIP 103 and your message to crimes, CRIMES. Any questions?
You said his whereabouts when you referenced the suspect. Do you know it's a male or female?
No, I'm using his as a general term.
Any idea if it's, y'all consider it random or?
Looking at the crime scene, we believe that the victim was targeted, so we don't believe this is a random crime. We don't believe that the community is itself in danger with someone out there randomly shooting people or targeting people. We believe this one person knew the suspect, and we're trying to connect those dots. Any other questions? All right. Murder number 16. On Monday, July 18th, 2016 at 3:13 a.m., Austin police officers responded to a disturbance at the Colonial Village at Quarry Oaks apartment complex. Upon arrival, officers encountered 2 men attempting to load a male victim into a car. It appears the male victim suffered from a stab wound to his abdominal area. Austin Travis County EMS arrived on scene and transported the male victim to Round Rock Hospital, where he later died from his injuries. The victim has been identified as Sankirth Gundam, and I'll spell that for you. That's S-A-N-K-I-R-T-H. Last name is G-U-N-D-A-M. The suspect has been identified as 27-year-old Sai Sandeep Good Kuramula. He's an Asian male, and he has been arrested and booked into Travis County for murder, which is a first-degree felony. An autopsy was performed this morning at the Travis County Medical Examiner's Office, and the ruling was homicide. Again, if anyone has any further information involving this case, please call the homicide tip line or Crime Stoppers.
You said 2 men were loading him into the car. Are they under investigation?
One of the men was our suspect, and the other was a friend.
Of the suspect?
Of both.
Is he been charged?
He has not been charged. We don't believe he has anything to do with the incident. He was just there after the fact.
Can you spell the suspect's name?
Absolutely, yes. Sai, first name, S-A-I, Sandeep, S-A-N-D-E-E-P, Good, G-O-U-D, Kuramula, K-U-R-R-E-M-U-L-A.
Any idea what led up to the stabbing?
We received a 911 call prior to officers arriving. Someone heard what sounded like a fight or a disturbance, so that's what brought officers there. So we believe that a disturbance preceded what we believe to be the stabbing.
And they all somehow knew each other?
That is correct. They all knew each other. Any other questions on 16? All right, let's talk about murder 17. On Monday, July 18th at approximately 11:34 a.m., Austin police officers were dispatched to a shooting that had just occurred in the parking lot of the Park Plaza Apartments located at 6200 Loyola Lane. When officers arrived on scene, they discovered the victim, who was identified as Alfred Matthews, on the ground with a gunshot wound. The suspect, who was identified as 21-year-old Zachary Daniel Payne, fled the scene. Matthews was transported to the University Medical Center at Brackenridge Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased at 12:12 p.m. Payne was later apprehended by our Austin Police Department Intelligence Unit. On July 19th, which is this morning, an autopsy was performed by the Travis County Medical Examiner's Office, and the manner of death was ruled homicide. Murder charges are pending on Zachary Payne. Again, if anyone has any information relating to this incident, please call the homicide tip line and/or Crime Stoppers.
How old was the victim on murder number 15?
He was born December 1985. 33.
Where was Payne apprehended?
Payne was apprehended at an address that he stayed at. I don't have that specific address in front of me.
Area of the town?
It's, yeah, I couldn't even guess. I want to say northeast, but I could be wrong.
Did they know each other?
We don't know at this time. The investigation is still ongoing. We don't know what the connection is between the two people.
That murder 17 involved kind of an altercation with a number of people, they said, at the scene. Are more charges coming?
Murder 17. So yes, so officers responded there because of this shooting, but it appears that there was an altercation between several people. At this time, we don't believe there are any other criminal charges pending with the people involved in the disturbance. Unfortunately, the decedent here, Mr. Payne, or Mr. Matthews, was, unfortunately, he was a victim of a random gunshot, possibly.
Talk about, I mean, these are 3 murders within a short time period. Just how stressful it is, for officers to get all that, but also, it's sad for the community to hear about.
Absolutely. It is. It's a stressful time throughout the country, as everyone here is aware. We are not alone as the Austin Police Department when we're looking at violent crime at this time. Officers staffing at 100% and detectives doing their work. We are lucky that we have very dedicated men and women working for this department who do a great job balancing both investigation and patrol. So yes, it is stressful on our end and for my detectives, as well as all detectives here in the Austin Police Department. With the community, I understand it is stressful for them as well because, as you may notice, 2 of these 3 murders occurred in East Austin. I can't say that there's a trend there because there's not. Murders happen throughout the city. But unfortunately, just the 2 that occurred in such a short time in close to the same area, I'm sure it puts residents in that area, it puts them on a higher alert. And I know if I were in that community, I would want answers. I'd want to see more officers. Any place where community members feel unsafe, that's an issue for us as a police department because our job is to make everyone feel safe.
Have you guys, do you think you guys will patrol that area a little bit more over the next maybe couple days or weeks just because of, the 2 incidents?
So with the department's 100% patrol staffing, it's a given. There's going to be more officer presence out on the streets. Again, calls are going to dictate where our officers are, but sure, we are going to, I would imagine, patrol officers are going to spend more time patrolling areas where they know higher incidences are likely to occur.
And then my last thing, talk about how violence isn't the answer. I mean, we continue to hear that, whether it's a crime against, you know, police officers or any type of crime. I mean, hopefully violence does stop.
Sure. What we have to be careful now in this day and age, especially with the violence, is perpetuating an us versus them. And it's not necessarily police versus citizen and non-police. It's not race against race. It's any groups of people, whether it be neighbors, community members, business owners. Violence is not the answer, obviously. Violence perpetuates more violence. And what we would like to see as a police department, personally speaking, is the community working together with the police department to settle the crime, to bring down the crime, to alleviate the stresses and the negativity that go hand in hand with this violence. So if we can encourage communities working together, if we can encourage the police department working with the communities, I think that would go a long way in reducing the violence that we see.
One more question? Thank you.